Faithful, what's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Faithful, we're only a few days away from the start of the Niners regular season opener against the Cardinals, and I'm so geeked up. I can't wait for the game. But in this video, I want to talk about my prediction for the 49ers win-loss record for this year. So let's get into it. Faithful, we open up the season at home against a division rival in the Arizona Cardinals. And this will be a challenging game for us. One, because there were no preseason games this year. We all know why. Also, there was a limited training camp. And Kyler Murray, he's not an established passer yet, I feel, in the NFL, but he is a scrambler, and he definitely makes the D-line he definitely makes it difficult for the D-line to consistently pass rush when they're constantly having to chase after him because he's a mobile quarterback. So Kyler Murray will give us fits. I mean, in the past, two games last year, he did give us fits, and those games were close. And now the Cardinals added DeAndre Hopkins, who is obviously a top, 2-3 wide receiver in the NFL. And I feel like our secondary of the defense is our weakest point if we had one in our defense. I feel like the D-line, the linebackers are our strength, the front seven, but I feel like the back end of our defense, the secondary, is where we are our weakest. And obviously DeAndre Hopkins is a beast, so he will give us fits, but I think the Niners will come out on top 24-17. The next two games are on the road in New Jersey. We play at the Jets and at the Giants. And I feel like we'll be able to handle those teams. I feel like we'll win those games respectively. For the Jets, I feel like we'll win 27-13. We'll be able to contain Le'Veon Bell and their offense. And the next game we play at the New York Giants, I feel like we'll win 31-21, and we'll be able to contain Saquon Barkley. I feel like he'll have a solid game, but I feel like we'll still be able to come on top. And then we fly back when we play the Philadelphia Eagles at home. And I feel like it would be great for the Niners to get back home after a 2-game road trip. And we got to go up against Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is a good quarterback. He can scramble. He can always make plays. Eagles have a solid offense. And I think we'll be most challenged with the 49ers offense going up against the Eagles defense, because the Eagles have a pretty good defense. But I feel like the 49ers will come out on top. And I feel like we'll win that game 23-20 in a nail biter. Let's get to the next 4 weeks. Week 5, them good old Dolphins come down to Santa Clara and get their asses handed to them. I feel like we'll win that game easily 45-21, and it'll be a long road trip for the Dolphins heading back to South Beach. Week 6, the Rams come into Santa Clara. It's going to be a tough game. It was going to be a tough game for the Rams, I should say. It's a division game. Usually those are close, but lately we've had the Rams number. So I feel like we'll come out on top 31-21. And week 7, the 49ers, we got the New England Patriots. So we have to fly down to Foxborough, Massachusetts, going up against Bill Belichick and Cam Newton. So I think it'll be an interesting game. I feel like we'll come out on top. I feel like we'll win 34-24. I feel like Cam Newton, he's a good quarterback, but I don't think the Patriots have that many offensive weapons to help Cam Newton. I mean, they got Julian Edelman. They have a few running backs, but I feel like the Niners defense will overcome that, and I feel like we'll be able to score on them at will. And the New England Patriots, I think they had at least 5 to 7 players opt out of the season due to COVID, and the majority of those players were on defense. So I think that'll really hurt them. So I think the Niners will come out on top, and the score will be 34-24. The next week, in week 8, the 49ers go down to good old CenturyLink Field in Seattle to go up against Russell Wilson. This is going to be a tough game, division opponent. Obviously, I mean, ever since Russell Wilson was drafted by the Seahawks, he's always played the Niners tough. Like, it's always been a game that the Niners and Seahawks, both teams, circle on their calendar. Like, this is going to be a tough game. It's going to be a black and blue game. It's going to be bruised. It's going to be hard hits. It's going to be an exciting game, and they're usually always close. But I think the Seahawks have a slight edge in this game. They'll be at home, so I think they'll win 27-21 in a hard-fought battle. Let's get into the next 4 weeks. Week 9, the Niners, we all going to be eating some cheese. Them good old Packers coming down to Santa Clara again. Obviously, the last few times the Packers have played the Niners, we've had their number. It hasn't really been a competition. We've really just punched them in the mouth, and the Packers just don't respond. So I think the Niners will win this game 31-14 in Santa Clara. And in Week 10, the Niners, we got to go down to that good old Bayou. We got to go up against Drew Brees and, Michael Thomas. And Emmanuel Sanders is now on the Saints. He signed with them in the offseason. So it'll be a great game. Niners going to the Bayou, going up against the Saints. I think the Saints have a slight edge. Saints got a good defense. They have a good all-around team. Honestly, I think their weakness is Drew Brees. I think he just doesn't throw the ball deep anymore. He doesn't have the arm for it. But I think the Saints will have a slight edge, and I think they will pull away 34-31. And that would only be our second loss of the season so far. So obviously the Niners are doing pretty well so far. Week 11, we go to SoCal. We got to play them good old LA Rams at their brand new stadium. But what is it? Is it SoFi Stadium? I think it is SoFi Stadium, the Rams' new stadium that was built this offseason. No, it's been a few years, but they debuted it this year. Anyway, I think we'll win that game. It'll be a tough game going on the road, division opponent, but I think we'll come out on top 20-13. Jared Goff is a solid quarterback. He definitely got paid like he's a top 5 quarterback. We all know he's not, and I think the Niners will contain Jared Goff. And I think our only concern, or our main concern, is obviously Aaron Donald. We all know he's a beast, one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL. So our guards will have a long day in trying to block him, running when we run the ball, and also block him to give Jimmy G time in the pocket. The following week, week 12. So this is an interesting one. The Buffalo Bills are coming out to Santa Clara to play the Niners. Now, Faithful, do you know the last time the Buffalo Bills played the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco? Well, I did a little bit of research. It's been the last time the Bills played in Santa Clara was October 7th, 2012. And the Niners won that game. Obviously, it doesn't matter win-loss, but that's how long it's been for the Bills to fly out to San Francisco. So that's interesting. So it should be a good game. The Bills have a young quarterback. And they also have a very good defense, and they're led by Sean McDermott, a defensive head coach. So this should be a great game. Two great defenses going at each other. I feel like the winner of this game will be whoever commits the least amount of turnovers and also is able to score on offense, obviously. And also who can commit turnovers. If the Bills or Niners can get some interceptions or some fumble recoveries, I think that'll determine who win the game. And I feel like the Bills will win this game 20-17. Week 13, going up against them good old Washington football team. My buddy Josh, this is his favorite team, and we always go back and forth about the Washington football team and the Niners. And this should be an easy game for the Niners, honestly. Now, Washington, a player to look out for Washington is Chase Young, the young defensive end rookie. Was he the first overall pick, or he's a top 5 pick in this past year's draft? And he was drafted at Ohio State. He's a great pass rusher. That's what they say. It was in college. We'll see what he does in the NFL. But yeah, that's a player to watch out for on Washington team. Chase Young, he'll be going up against, all-pro tackle Trent Williams. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs against, one of the best. But I think the Niners will take care of this game easy. I think the score will be 31-3, and we'll obviously handle them. Week 14, we got to go to Jerry's $1 billion Palace, baby, in Dallas, Texas. And we're going up against some Dallas Cowboys. My concern for that game is the Cowboys have weapons on offense. They got Zeke the Freak. They got, Amari Cooper. They got, what was the guy? I think it was Gatlin. I think his name is, and they drafted Ruggs, the receiver, and he's pretty fast. So the Cowboys got offensive weapons all over the field, and I think that will definitely challenge the Niners secondary. We're definitely going to have to be able to get pass rush on Dak, even though I think Dak is solid, but when he goes up against, top-tier talent, it seems like he doesn't necessarily rise to the occasion. So we'll see what he does when he goes and he plays against the Niners. And I think the Cowboys will actually win this game 27-20. They're at home. And they got a lot of weapons on the field. We'll definitely be challenging this one greatly. So going on to week 15, we're playing the Arizona Cardinals in their home stadium. I think this will be another tough game, division opponent. And, the Cardinals, they obviously got Kenyon Drake. They got D-Hop. So they're definitely going to challenge us. And I think that we'll still pull this out, though. It'll be a close game, but I think we'll pull it out 24-23. And I expect Dante Pettis to have a big game, and I expect Deebo Samuel to dominate in these games. And I can't wait to see them play. Last game of the season, Seattle comes down to Santa Clara. So obviously we're going to be seeking revenge because we went up to CenturyLink Field prior in the year and we lost. And it's going to be a tough fall game, division opponent, last game of the year. It could possibly, this game could determine who wins the division, which has happened last year. So I think this game will actually determine, who the division winner is. And I think the Niners will pull it out 24-20. And if you kept tally, that means I think the 49ers will have a 12-4 record. I think we'll definitely win the division this year again. And I think we're on a long route in the playoffs and possibly going to the Super Bowl again. So I'm very excited for the season. Faithful, let me know what you think. Do you think we'll have a record better than 12-4? Do you think that record is just right? Or do you think we'll lose a few more games? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comment section what you think our record will be for the year. And I can't wait for the season to kick off on Sunday. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in to Jay in the Bay.